And welcome back to all of you lovely folks at home. This is going to be the Apex Legends Open Series brought to you by TGS. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm joined with someone I've not casted before, but I tell you what, I am lapping up and enjoying all the energy he's put on the table. It's why not? It's Tony. Tony, how you doing today, pal?
I'm doing great. I mean, we've only been through 2 games. We have 4 more to go. $500 on the line. We've seen some incredible plays across the board. We saw, I think it was a goal last season. They did absolutely incredible. They were on top of their game. Then we saw Wingman Associates, who were in second place. They had 19 points before game number 2, almost right on their tails, but behind goal last season with 31 points. And then our winners, Motorcycle Riders, sliding up to that 3rd place ranking, able to put in 21 points after an amazing game 2, ended up coming out on top, but it wasn't big enough to eclipse the 2nd place Wingman, who had 19 points in game 2, have added 10 on top, and they're still comfortable in 2nd place. And even goal last season, they didn't even make it to the final 3, but they put in enough kill points to jump them up from 31 to 47. That's what we're talking about when it comes to the meta that's afforded with Apex. You can play a slow game for placement and get guaranteed points, but it's not a lot of points, and it's not everything. We saw Halo kids, they have all their points in placement, only 1 kill point, while gold last season, 33 kill points, and that's enough to keep them on top. Z, what was that leaderboard telling you?
It's hard to think about this going further into the tournament. Like, what do you need to bring to the table as a team? What strategies, what selection of your legends do you need to figure out? It was very clear of the 2 teams at the top of the scoreboard. In fact, the 3, they are dominating right now. And I think it's going to be a bit of a title race, if you will, between each of them. I'm loving what I'm seeing from God last season with the hot drop. And it's almost like they're trying to get done the speed run. You've seen a speed run of many a game. And that's the kind of attitude they have. High octane, not always with octane, but high octane plays with great diverse utility use and going for every single engagement. But you mentioned it in game number 1. I want to go back to this. It's a very risky game, as you saw in map number 2, if Gold last season are playing like that consistently as they go through this BR. Do you think they're going to keep up that pace, or do you think they're maybe going to turn it down a little bit?
Well, I mean, I think at this point, Gold last season have afforded themselves to be as comfortable as possible, where they can continue to play hot. They can continue to play for those kills and play for those 50-50s. And if they win them, they're going to get maximum points. You are rewarded. Your investment of your time to put into those kills pay dividends if you're able to get those kills. Now, if they end up going down early, they end up losing that 50-50. Now, they were able to put 47 points on the board. They're comfortable in 1st place. So I think their strategy is to third party, keep going for kills, and worst case scenario, if you go down before top 3, it's all right. You're still gonna be in 1st place after this game, most likely. And if you're able to get those kills, you can just even build on top of your lead. And I talked about third parties. There is no better map to get third party kills than what we're seeing here on Olympus. All of this open field is available for you. You talked about sniping, Z. Do you like to snipe? I have a feeling you like to snipe.
How did you tell? Maybe because I spoke about it, it's all I've been talking about. Sentinel. Yeah, we saw it. Z, we see the Sentinel. I am all about the snipers from all games, to be honest. And I think you can get that early game engagement. You can pick and choose your gunfights, and the world's your oyster. Especially in a map like this, with so many sort of god spots, so many high ground areas. I think Olympus is a big example of where I'd love to see some sniping. No sniping yet, though. It's all about the flatline. You talk to the flatline, I swear you've cursed the server, because everyone is all about the flatline in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I preferred R301 personally, but if you have a good shot and you can handle a bit of recoil, the flatline gives you a little bit more ammo and a little bit of I guess a little bit of a longer time to kill, but a longer clip where you can take 2 players or maybe even 3 and put down damage on 3 different players. With R301, you're only gonna be able to put down shots on 1 singular player before that clip ends up running out, and the flatline absolutely puts in work. The hip fire from range. I think if I was, I guess personally, a better player, I'd probably walk the flatline as well, as a bubble fight goes in, but Gibby goes down, and they're already going for the finish.
Associates, they're still trying to give it everything they've got. They're coming in super heavy with a Peacekeeper and Peace. Anything but Peace being delivered.
Beautiful plays, and that was a second player, but that was a down, so most likely there's a third player. I didn't see any gold shields, any of the two down players. It looks like Wingman Associate doesn't want that player to live, and it's FCS having the Octane, so if you're going to rat it out and try to stay alive, Octane's a good player to do it with, especially since he has the jump pad, but Onion Zoners, I guess, a gatekeeping here, but not in a good scenario because our Gibby and our Bloodhound go down, and even they have a rat, and his name is Octane as well.
Marcus, run. Run for the hills. Run, Forest, run. Iron Maiden, or Forest Gump, whatever it may be. He is just running as fast as he can there. And he sees a scout. He sees a repeater. But none of these weapons are really spelling defense right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not helping him out, but that Eva just might. That shotgun puts in a lot of damage despite getting nerfs and can't stop, won't stop. Or maybe not stopping, but they are delayed because they did lose their Bloodhound player who's currently going for a revive as Pathfinder trying to put in damage from across the map and slow the team down from collapsing. Bloodhound does get revive on the lower left-hand side of your screen. If he can heal up, maybe they can fight this team. Two players with white shields, one with purple. Let's see what they do.
I'm enjoying what we're seeing here from Constant One Stop though. Go for those distance engagements, just chipping damage, chip by chip. In with the jump pad, straight into the action. This could be sick.
Textbook fundamentals, and that's gonna be it. The insta kill coming in. Can't stop, won't stop. They lost their Bloodhound player. They allotted time for them to come in and revive the Bloodhound, get the shields off because of the beautiful shots that are being laid down by Pathfinder. They got the win, and ultimately once they got the revive, the jump pad came in, and the collapse was beautiful as Gold last season also getting a big kill of their own, looting up and staying alive here on Olympus.
Gold last season, they have changed their pace, and as you mentioned, they can have the option of go for the hot gun fight or just take it easy, and they've been going so hot off the press that right now they're just waiting for next week's issue and just let other people go for the gunfights. As I'm saying that though, they're getting into the action.
That they are. You cannot slow down Gold last season. They're clearly going for Pred this season as Blight ends up throwing the entry nade, which takes down the door, shooting down the caustic gas, but I'm sure they'll probably going to utilize for intel and early damage. Shots are starting to ring out. R301 looking beautiful. We have some beautiful picture-on-picture action provided you by the gaming stadium, and that's going to be it. That squad goes down like a ton of bricks. Gold last season asserting their dominance here in game number 3.
Huff and a puff and blow that house down. Gold last season coming in with absolute vigor. Just what I'm saying. Yeah, they're taking off the Nikes. They're taking a jog. They're under gunfire, though. They're going to have to more than jog the way out of this one.
And now we're going to be switching gears over to it. Say our full name. I'm not sure exactly what team. Is it? This might be Motorcycle Riding Club. I'm not sure if there was a change in name. I don't even know what's going on. This might be Motorcycle Riding Club.
Third place here.
Octane, Bloodhound, and Watson putting in the work. I love the Volt. This is an SMG, but you can drop it 2 times on it. If you can control a bit of recoil, it can pay dividends. But let's see what Gold last season's up to, Z.
The position is all I was going to say for you there, Tony. Gold last season, great position. One player down though, and this is not a usual scenario for them.
That is not, and once again, Alpha ends up going down. Get back to observing, bro. You're not a player, Alpha. Get back to observing. You keep going down. You gotta stay alive, Alpha. But protectful, try to protect him and get maybe get his get the revive eventually. I'm sorry, get the banner eventually because Blight is backing down. Looks like that's not an engagement that they are ready to take here, and I'm not sure. So Blight is pretty back down, and Gibby's kind of far from me. So this is Gold last season on their back foot once again, and we're gonna find out what they're able to do. Can they slay out? Can they get the banner, or will they be playing a 2v3? And let's switch gears to Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Z.
Can't stop, won't stop. What have they got in the tank? What can they do to get themselves into this matchup? It's match number 3. If you're not up on that leaderboard, now's the time. It's now or never. The last chance saloon for any team that wants to say on that 500 bones on your Monday. And that is probably the best start you can get. Getting some frags, get some cash in your pocket, And as you mentioned, it is all courtesy of the TGS Open Series for Apex Legends. Hopefully many more to come, but many more frags to come as we're getting back in the pole position of the wingman.
And we have J2 going up against Wingman Association. And that's Octane, Crypto, and Wraith. It looks like they switched up their composition and included a Crypto. So Wingman wanted to play a little bit more for the long game and get as much information as possible as the shots are starting to hit. And J2 getting out of Dodge. They already lost one player. And they said, we don't want to lose two more. They're going to rat it out probably for the rest of the game and fight with only two players remaining. Wingman Associate, obviously this is not a controller player, mouse and keyboard. He's able to loot and also move at the same time, which is a luxury that us controller players don't have, as Gold last season losing two players and leaving Blight by himself. Z, what's gonna happen here?
Things are looking bleak for Blight and the gang at Gold last season. I don't want to say here, you've got the Eva, you've got R301, you've got to be hitting your shots, damage is done, but is it gonna be enough?
R301 in hands, but the question is, can he pull off the 1v2, which might even be a 1v3 scenario? I'm not exactly sure, but it's not looking good for Gold last season. He was able to get one banner, and it looks like somehow he's able to get the second banner as well. So great job by Blight, our Octane player, which, like I said, I believe he either is a semi-professional player who's sponsored by Kellogg's, or he was sponsored by them during season 1 of Series E. He's definitely a player that knows what he's doing, and probably the anchor of the team that really holds them together. We're seeing a little bit of the map and the rotation that may be happening. Can't stop, won't stop back on the screen. I know that's one of your favorite teams. It's a fun name to say.
It is. Can't stop, won't stop. You've got to get, you get gassed up saying it, don't you? You feel like you got the stim beacon like Octane. Holding off the back anchor will be can't stop, won't stop. Not too many frags they've obtained so far in this matchup, though, and it goes right back to what you said. And I love referencing these key foundation points that you've been underlining. If it's this late in a tournament, you've got to start to take those risks. You've got to go for those frags, and going in for a couple of frags, they will.
You know, I'm going to be that guy. Let me tell you, I've casted a bunch of Apex tournaments, and thank you guys at the Gaming Stadium for giving me a chance here, because I've never worked with Gaming Stadium before. But this picture-on-picture action, when you're seeing one team going up against another, it just adds so much to it adds so much to the broadcast, and it just gives us another way of understanding what's going on. I'm loving it. I've never seen it before, and now we're seeing some third-person action here. Fights in the gimme bubble, and it looks like there's going to be when all the bodies dropping in. Look at all the carnage on the ground. He's going to have to try to revive that player. It looks like, I don't know if it's a Crypto or a Wraith, but I actually like not to go for the revive here. It looks like he might be getting damage from the other side of the map, or waiting for that player to drop down in a more advantageous position, which finally going down to that corner, and the revive is coming in. Now Toa Manja Tenshi is in a gunfight, Z.
Hold off the angle best as possible. He's in a potential 1 versus 3 here. Spray to pray with the All-Star. Not going to be enough to get the job done. And I do believe that is going to be a squad wipe.
Can't believe I'm standing still.
That it is, and the revive coming in from Pathfinder. 11 squads remaining, and 2 assists coming out of our Bloodhound, putting in 729 damage, which tells you sometimes it's not all about the kills. The damage you put in and putting your teammates in position to be successful is oh so important, Z.
The most important. You got to have that team mentality. You can't just be, I'm not getting my frags, I'm in a bad game. No, it can't be that. And that's the typical nerd voice, by the way, if you're wondering. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. It's all about what you can contribute towards that end goal.
Mocking me.
My bad, bro. My bad. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you the other day. Sorry.
R301's doing the hands of our Bloodhound player. We're switching gears over towards Loot Goblin. That was the actual composition that was running Lifeline in game number 1, and our Lifeline player is going to be the first one to go down, which is not looking good. Bloodhound following Nest, leaving Octane by himself, and Octane not able to survive, and it looks like our Lifeline team is going to end up going down with only 10 squads remaining.
I don't know if it's just me, but these teams are ticking away at a bit of a faster rate here in Olympus.
I mean, I said it before. I mean, Olympus to me, it's an interesting map. It's very wide open. So as soon as gunfights come in, you hear from across the map, and you want to get involved. You want to steal away some of those kills. And as knocks start to come in, you're playing a 3v2 or a 3v2v3 situation, and you really feel advantageous. As Gold last season had 2 players go down, but Blight was able to get them all up. They're thirsting that player, but there's going to be at least one more who might just be ratting it out, because looks like somehow Gold last season not taking any pressure on this one. 2 players currently in red shields, 1 with purple, 975 damage coming out of Gibby, and we talked about it before, the assist on the top right-hand corner, currently having 4 assists for his team. But we've seen him be kill leader multiple times, and now we're seeing that his damage is going towards the assist column, looking like a young Lonzo Ball or Jason Kidd in his prime.
I love that. I absolutely love that. You couldn't be more right. Getting those assists, and we've just said it, and it goes right back to a player that has proved time and time again. As long as you're putting damage down that range, as long as you're putting damage at the opponent, that's all that counts, along with those callouts. Talking to callouts, lots of callouts coming in here for Simon's Money Crew. Got the jump pad available. Anything could happen, and just looking out for those rats just scurrying away from the zone.
On board now with Simon Money Crew at the moment with the picture on picture. Once again, we're seeing them get into an engagement with another team at the top right-hand corner. Looks like that, and it looks like that team is starting to win some of these gunfights, and already losing the Octane player who ends up getting thirsted. That's going to be leaving our Bloodhound and our Caustic by themselves, and they want to get out of Dodge. And once again, it is Gold last season who put in the damage, just again asserting their dominance. They clearly show that they have the most gun skill in the game as far as in this lobby, and they're not afraid to use it. They want to get in your face, they want to make you uncomfortable, and even if they're not getting the placer points, they're definitely getting those kill points.
I was about to say, it's about positioning, it's about aims, everything with this lineup. It's the dream team, and I haven't said that very often on any stream at all, but they stand out like a sore thumb right now. They really do. They're a shiny thing in the rough of the thick bushes, and right at this moment, not many team is on the level of play that they are.
And say our full name is on top right now, putting down the damage and somehow making it to the top 8. But Wingman Associates not going to go past that, because they end up going down. Gold last season going in for the res here. 7 squads remaining. Kills are across the board. Nobody's slowing down. Again, once again, this is your Apex Open Series provided you by the Gaming Stadium, and man, these teams are definitely playing as $500 on the line. Dude, they're playing like there's $5 million on the line. It's playing like this, the ALGS.
Oh man, they are. They really are playing like it's the full 5 mil. And that's what you need to see out of young talent right now. You got into Apex, you want to go somewhere, you've got to play every game like it's your last darn game. And right at this moment, Gold last season, hanging on for their dear life and trying to do everything they can to solidify that top prize pool for first place. Everyone else, though, everything is possible with a couple of games left here. Couple of stragglers, couple of rat players just hiding out and trying to play Where's Waldo.
We're back on board with Gold last season. We're on our kill leader, who is Blight, sitting at 6 kills at the moment. I talked about it before, man. He's treating this like pubs. Whenever I play pubs, I go all out. I take every 50-50. I try to put in that work as much as possible, because ultimately it makes me better as a player to just win, to get into constant gunfights. And that's what they're treating it like. They're running through this lobby. I would say they're obviously getting most of the kills. Whether it's Blight, whether it's Protectful, they're putting down the damage. As Say Our Name, trying to get into an engagement, playing the outside of the circle as it's closing in. 1 minute 16 seconds on the 4th ring. There's 6 squads remaining, but that's not going to be for long. Once we get down to that 5th or 6th ring, I promise you, we will end up going down to about 4 squads, maybe even less.
I think it's happening right now. Look at the ground of where people are. This high ground, this god spot, is going to have to be given up at one point, and the frags, the firing is starting to happen. We're having that crater just available, the flatline being utilized right now for Blight, and he's used any weapon, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. Look at him go, he's getting right into their face.
That he is with a Kraber in hands. He really has showed us a little bit of mechanics to get across the bridge and down into the action as the wingman shots are covering him. That's coming from Protectful. Alpha sitting up top, and Blight just says, hey, hold me real quick, hold my beer while you're at it, and watch what I do to the rest of the lobby. To finishing that player with a flat line, 5 squads remaining. I told you before, I'm a big fan of Gold last season with Professional Observer Alpha. Yeah, he's watched some of the best, and he has that gun skill. I talked about it before. Them and Halo Kids are probably going to be my 2 favorite teams, and also I would be the teams that I know most about.
You know, I like that though, and those kind of insights, and you're talking of watching the game is how you get better at the game. It's not just about playing for those folks at home. Catch the VODs, do your homework, and that shall be rewarded. Are we going to see, say our full name rewarded again? Motorcycle Riders, last game, took the dub. Can they get another one and solidify that top 3 spot?
And I guess we're finding out if the circle is going to end up in Village. But let me tell you, I talked about playing pubs, but I love dropping over here. And I'm sorry, it might be it should be states. I'm sorry, but I love dropping here. It's always hot. You get into a ton of action. You can also slow things down with the multiple buildings if you like to run a composition involving Watson or Caustic, like we're seeing with Say Our Full Name here. 4 squads remaining.
The armor is boosted. The guns, they are absolutely jacked out their minds. Ultimate's just chilling available. Octane does have the jump pads. RC in. They're just armoring up across the fence here. This is where things are going to get so tight.
I'm seeing in the chat there's some fans. I'm not sure. It looks like Tubby. I'm not sure if that's a reference to a player or a team, but if we can find Tubby, I've seen that name referenced in the chat a few times. We need to get Tubby on the screen because we gotta give the people what they want as the Watson fences are going in. Spitfire in the hands, and there he is. Tubby actually you call for it, you get it. Ratting it out at the moment for can't stop, won't stop. Only 44 damage away from getting to that red shields, but he's not in the action just yet.
Hang tight, and maybe you'll bring the fight at some point, but there isn't too much time left. There's only 3 squads, and all of the bombardments that are happening on what might be one of the final zones here.
And there may be only 3 squads remaining, but you notice we hopped on board with Tubby at one point, who was a rat for that team. So that means there's really only 2 squads that are probably fully loaded at the moment. Actually, I'm seeing at the top right-hand corner, it's letting us know that there's 7 people. So 1 belongs to 1 team, and the other 2 are fully loaded with 3 players remaining, because I know how to do math. I mean, I'm not the best at math, but I can do math. 7 minus 3. I can do that. And we're going into that final circle here very soon, and it looks like we're going to be getting into the action, and I cannot wait. This is game number 3.
Quick math though, mental arithmetic, boom. He did it in pre-game as well. He said he's bad at math. I don't believe him. I'm the one that's bad at math. Got to be in high school, but you couldn't catch me with 1 + 1 at this point. 1 + 1, well, equals 2, but only 3 squads are left in this final battle. And you did mention, with that 1 straggler, 1 rat player, I'd love to get eyes on that production. Where is that rat player?
He's probably sitting at the edge of the circle waiting for it to close in. He's going to play it as long as possible. If you're a rat, the last thing you want to do is get into action. So you don't want to be towards that center, because that's most likely where the action is going to be. You want to play the edge and make sure that the circle is towards your back. And here it is right here, trying to stay alive, but this hill is merciless. The ult comes in. He's almost able to play his life, but that's going to be it. 2 squads remaining, and just like that, Gold last season coming out on top. Beautiful plays. We saw them win game number 1. They did fantastic in the kills in game 2, and once again asserting their dominance here in game number 3. Blight, Alpha, Protectful, watch out for them.
Game number 3 took us to Olympus, but who took that final stand at Olympus? It will be Gold last season, and I will say it twice. They are definitely not looking like they're Gold. They are looking like they are Predators, most certainly. All the prey in the server came into their hands, and they just ripped them apart. What a performance.
I'm a big fan of Olympus. I talked about it before. It's so wide open. You can get into those third-party scenarios. You can really up the tempo if you're a team like the last season, where as soon as gunfights start going off, you get in there, you start engaged, you can hear from across the map. There's not a lot of cover in some of those open areas like we saw right outside of Estates, where that hill was actually closing in, and we saw like when there's a lot of open fire and you can really show off that gun skill. gold last season end up coming out on top, Cuppa.
We did see Wingman Association, or Wingman Associates, I should say. They were doing pretty steady throughout that performance as well, but I don't believe they were able to get the frags they needed to really solidify that top 3 positioning. Well, we'll find out when we do get to leaderboards after a short little break. But before we go anywhere, make sure that you're doing your due diligence to recycle. And what am I talking about for recycling? I'm talking about Return It Express. You can go super easy for Return It Express right now without even speaking to someone, and you can do it all online. So just drop off all of your empties, and there you go. You can get your deposit back for that too. Talking of me, I've got a closet full of cans, and I need to get that sorted. So maybe you'll see me at Return It Express, but make sure you're doing your part and walk away with a little bit of extra money. Might not be $500 like the prize pool here, but anything extra counts.
Apex
especially
coins
right now. Yeah, there you go. You can cash it in for some Apex coins and maybe unlock a new legend, unlock some new gear. I like the way you think. Definitely do. With that being said, I like the way you guys think, because we want to get things going to the next battle, the next battle royale. We'll catch you right after the break.